number one role and actually own it.
Yeah, they will. I mean, real quick, moving back out to the Pac-12, you got you got Washington State, right?
Who beat Stanford last night?
Who beat Stanford in Stanford
handedly,
right? 42-16. So that's 2 losses back to back. And so you look at Washington, their strongest win was against Stanford.
Yeah.
Now Stanford's dropped 2 in a row.
Yeah, and Stanford at one point in time was number 7.
Yeah, even they were number 15 last week. So this week, or they're number 15 currently. So going forward, who knows what they'll be? And then, like you said, when BCS comes out first week in November, it's just not going to sit. It's not going to do well for Washington. Yeah,
and the bad thing about these games are when you play these games. For instance, Texas, when you beat Notre Dame is ranked number 10.
Right.
And then you see them drop games after that, and now they're not ranked.
Yeah.
Same with Wisconsin. They beat LSU when LSU was ranked number 5, and then you find out LSU is really not that type of team.
Right.
Some of these games that you're losing, some of those teams that they really don't warrant those rankings that they actually have.
Yeah,
and it's hurting you later on in the season.
Well, it's unfortunate because as a program, you go in and you schedule these big games, right? You want to get 2 or 3 big quality games, 1 or 2 quality outside conference games on your schedule, so you can prove who you are. You know what your conference is, all right? So you want to move out your conference. You want to play at LSU, preseason rank. Highly ranked, and you want to get that win. You want to play a Notre Dame like Texas did and get that win and give your team, give your position more relevance going forward. Right. But then you start to see those teams drop based on those preseason rankings. They were number 10, but now they're showing their true colors.
Right.
So now all that planning and preparation you did for that schedule in the beginning is all for nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to see exactly what happens with the Pac-12. They usually, if in fact you can run the table there, and just looking back on USC and the way that Oregon was able to get themselves into the playoffs, the problem is that this team with Washington started out so far out. Yeah, coming up, it's just going to be stacked at the top for them.
Absolutely.
After that, you got the big time game, Texas A&M and Tennessee. Texas A&M wins the game 45-38. Big time game for Texas A&M.
Yeah, undefeated.
Undefeated there in what's that, College Station.
That's it.
You got Joshua Dobbs for Tennessee, 28-47, 398 yards. Texas A&M running back, 217 yards, 1 touchdown. Travion Williams. Texas A&M, look, like I said, they're going to have to play against Alabama. That's going to be the big game for them. And that's the only ranked team that they're going to have on their schedule from that point on.
Yeah.
That's a must win. That you lose that, you're out of the playoff picture.
Yeah, you are. I mean, that's easy. I mean, and that's next week.
Yeah.
So
no, what is it? The
or
week
2 weeks
after
away.
that, on the
they
22nd,
buy this
right?
Week, but 2 weeks away. Yeah.
Right.
Their next game. Well, they got Mississippi coming up later on the schedule as well. And they got LSU. I mean, LSU's name still holds a little bit of value. We'll see what happens since Les Miles gone. That game was postponed, the Florida LSU game, due to the Hurricane Matthew down there. Obviously have more important things to do and take care of than a football game at the time down there in Florida. So. Absolutely. Big time game in the state of Florida that did get played down at the bottom. Miami versus Florida State. Yeah. Florida State redeems themselves. Yeah. Last minute field goal block.
Hey, let me
Keep
tell you.
the game from being tied.
That game there, when Miami scored that touchdown, it was all but said that, hey, it's going into overtime, and Florida State comes out with the block.
Yeah.
And there's a couple things that I learned from this game, okay? Francois is going to be good. DeAndre Francois for Florida State is going to be good.
Right.
Dalvin Cook is that dude.
27 carries, 150 yards.
They were just pounding him. I mean, he had a run in the game. Of course, they called it back, but he had a couple runs in that game where you just see pro potential there. You can see him playing on Sundays.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, if Francois does if he continues to develop, redshirt freshman, he continues to develop, that kid is going to be playing on Sundays as well.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Kaya, he is definitely an NFL caliber quarterback. You're going to see him on Sundays. There were some throws that he got out with velocity and accuracy. Miami is in good hands with Rick down there, being their first year coach. That's a big time loss for them, though.
Tough, a real tough loss.
ACC isn't as tough. I mean, of course, you have Clemson there.
Mm-hmm.
You have Louisville. This was a game that if you can get past Florida State, you were going to be set up to possibly make a run.
Right.
And this is going to set the U back a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, you still got. I mean, you got
North Carolina.
You got North Carolina who got trounced
Virginia
yesterday.
Tech.
Virginia Tech just beat the draws off of them in a nasty game out there in the rain. North Carolina just couldn't put together any type of game plan. No running game whatsoever.
Right.
And just got beat 34-3. So their hopes of creeping up in the schedule coming off the backs of that big win over Florida State, just a total letdown there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Very true. Very true. Virginia Tech should be moving up in the rankings.
Mm-hmm.
So that will help Miami win. Miami goes to Virginia Tech there on the 20th. So, and then obviously that's the way that you have to look at it. If this team wins here, when we come in against them, hopefully they get a higher ranking so that if we beat them,
quality
it'll be looked at a little bit different.
Right. It's all about quality wins.
That's it.
Especially when it comes to the computers crunching those numbers.
Absolutely. Colorado, they dropped their big time game against USC. USC getting a victory that doesn't come around too often for them. They moved to 3-3, 2-2 in the Pac-12, and Utah rounding out the top 25 beats Arizona.
36-23.
36-23. So college football this weekend, man. You had some good games. But the way that we've always seen the shift come, okay, we've had great weekends with college football, and I guess this just wasn't one of those sexy weekends where you had a big-time matchup. Again, you had some great games with, Texas A&M playing against Tennessee and the Miami versus Florida State game, but it wasn't a whole lot of great games going on. A lot of teams just trying to run up the scores because it's going to matter. It's going to matter.
I mean, I think the Florida State Miami game was a big rivalry game, long time history there. Trying to battle for the state of Florida there, and you had like you said, you had the Navy game, the big upset of Houston there. But I get what you're saying. Not too many real big upsets or real big powerhouses clashing. Right. So.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, that Thanksgiving weekend when everybody's playing against their rival and everything is on the line, that's one of the best weekends in all of sports. Absolutely. So we're going to transition from college football into the NFL's upcoming week. Yeah. Week number 5. Tell me this, just off the top of your head, what are you looking forward to in week number 5, and what did you learn in week number 4?
Well, week 4, I learned that my Carolina Panthers are probably going to lose Cam for he's been verified to be out Monday night.
Right.
And it's going to be some tough trading going forward. We got 2 division games coming up, and I just don't see how we can I do see how we can salvage the season. But you're talking wild card right now, and really that's the best you can hope for, especially with Atlanta in our conference. I saw Denver Broncos are serious about repeating. Okay, that defense isn't going anywhere. I see Paxton Lynch probably makes them even better offensively. All right, going forward, I believe Trevor Siemian is probably going to get the opportunity to play again. I don't know. I don't know what's going on out there.
I know he's going to plead his case to get back on the field, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course he is. We saw the Cardinals Thursday. They had a good quality win over the 49ers with Drew Stanton coming in, doing his thing, and getting them a win that they desperately needed going forward, especially out there in the West. And, what about you?
So there was a couple things. First and foremost, I want to tip my hat to Terrell Pryor. Okay. I know Terrell Pryor, when he was at Ohio State, he had some issues as far as, and to me, they really weren't issues, where you're selling your own jersey, to get tattoos. And of course, the NCAA that don't like the kids doing anything. He basically got slapped down for that. But Terrell Pryor, quarterback in college, comes into the league. Usually when you have those guys that play quarterback at big time programs and they come into the league, they're hard headed. They don't want to learn another sport. And this is speaking from experience with Nebraska, where you have Eric Crouch. He wins the Heisman as a quarterback for Nebraska. And then he comes into the NFL and he still wants to be a quarterback, okay? And his skill level is just not there. Terrell Pryor's skill level as a quarterback just was not there. And this guy takes it on himself, okay, to reach out to Randy Moss to learn the position of wide receiver. Okay, he humbled himself. There was a report, I think it was on Thursday or Friday, and he talked about how he just knew that he wasn't good enough at this level to play quarterback, and he had to humble himself and play wide receiver.
Right.
And by all accounts, he is looking really good this year.
Good.
19 receptions, 290 yards. It's not very often that guys are able to have that type of humility about themselves to go back and learn another position and perform at a high level. So I have to tip my hats off to Terrell Pryor.
And this is a big boy too. I mean, you're talking a 6'4", 225 guy.
Jeez,
all right.
Louise.
So you're talking, him continuing to refine himself out of the wide receiver position.
Absolutely.
He is going to definitely be a handful for corners in the future to handle going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And not just that, but you think about the fact that because he did play quarterback, he's able to help his quarterback out. Just whoever the quarterback may be in the future there in Cleveland, he's able to help them out.
Able to recognize reads better, able to recognize shifts on the defense better.
Absolutely.
And know when to cut that route off when you need to save your quarterback.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The other thing that I learned this past week, Josh Norman, unfortunately, is becoming one of my favorite players in the NFL.
Yeah, yo boy.
Okay. He is what the NFC East needs. And I'm not even going to lie. And I hate saying it. My last favorite Redskin was probably Darryl Green. And everyone knows I hate the Redskins. But when you have quality guys and you have guys with personality, you can't do anything but like these guys. Josh Norman, he tells it like it is. His personality fits the NFC East, especially with Odell Beckham Jr. and Dez Bryant. Those lightning rods. You have that DB that plays against those two guys twice a year. It's a good move. It is so entertaining to see.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I had to give him props. I think that was a great move by the Redskins. Not only is he a class act person, but he's a personality that brings a spotlight to that team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, the Odell Beckham Jr. Thing this week.
Yeah.
They've talked about it so many different ways, talked about how it's a distraction, the things that he's doing and all of that. Okay. In my opinion, with Odell Beckham, the guy plays with passion. The guy wants the ball.
Yeah.
We've seen that. We've seen that through history. We've seen these wide receivers act out in certain ways because they feel as though once the ball is in their hands, they can make plays.
And they can. Odell's one of those guys who is a game changer.
He is definitely one of those guys. So me personally, I don't understand where the media is coming out against this guy, and we all know that this guy is super talented. Super talented.
Wait, whoa. Are you okay, hold on.
What's up?
Okay, so you spoke highly of a Washington Redskin.
Yeah.
You're speaking highly of a New York Football Giant.
Look,
okay.
This is where unbiased
I'm
views,
starting to wonder,
okay,
what's
unbiased
going on
views
here.
and balanced views make their way into the airwaves.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
No, but I mean, let's just be honest here. Let's just be honest. This guy, he is a talented player. Okay,
No,
you can't take that away. And as a Cowboy, you know that when he gets the ball, he can take it to the house. Okay, he wants the ball. What do you think he needs going forward? Look, I think the offensive coordinator, they're going to have to, and at the end of the day, you can't just go in there and tell Eli, look, you're going to have to target Odell Beckham. Okay.
Right.
You're just not going to tell Eli that. You got to get him involved in the game though. I mean, what do you think?